Wow. Do I feel like a ding ding dong? Thank you, Eve, for being so supportive of the channel. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate uh you're a fabulous mod. You are a fabulous mod. And I appreciate you so much. There's my email. Um, Send me your address, Eve. I want to send you one of these hearts. When I got these hearts, right? Um, I got these hearts with summer in mind, and they're rose quartz, and they're beautiful. And you guys were right when you said that I needed to hold this yesterday, because I really needed to hold that yesterday. Okay. You guys know me. I was more than feisty yesterday, and I do need to tone it down for YouTube. And I know that a lot of my people who listen to me and come into my chat don't want to hear me saying the F word, okay, all the time. You guys do know, hey, squirrely girl, you guys do know that the F word is my favorite word. I can't help myself. It's just my favorite word. So, kind of hard in that. What I kind of wanted to touch base today is I'm going to go back into, hey, Kathy, I want to go back into and show a little bit of the live that I had with Lisa J, right? And look, I'm not doing this because she, whatever, on my channel and acted up or whatever. That's not why I'm doing this. I had a lot of questions, and hey, Lori, and the first time that I ever had Lisa on my panel, she kind of talked about a few things, and I'm kind of confused. I'm really confused on some of the stuff that she talked about, and maybe I can answer some of the questions that I have about years ago when she was associated with Pam and Candace and Dawn and all that other stuff. She, obviously had said that she knew them back then. And I guess what kind of bothered me about that is because when she came on my panel, right, and was basically, as far as other creators or whatever, talking about what happened back then, that, hey, Palm, that it was irrelevant with Summers going missing right now, right? But yet it was okay for another creator. We know you guys watched my live yesterday when I kind of went off about it. But I got something cool I want to show you guys. I went to the little carnival that we have here last night with my granddaughter. Oh my gosh. I didn't get home till like after 11:30. We had the best time. We had the best time. And kudos to my daughter. My oldest daughter, I have so much fun with her. We laugh. She teases me so bad. And we laugh and have so much fun. But there was a game where you had to take the mallet and hit the bell. And I was like, ugh, there ain't no freaking way I could do that. But I did, and look what I won for my channel. The perfect thing. This is my new guy here. Check him out. We have to name him, okay? He's huge. He's a big old alien for the YouTubian galaxy, y'all. So we'll just have to figure out what to name him. And then I got something also that, hey, there's Eve. Eve, did you hear me praising you? Isn't he awesome? I actually won two of them and gave one to my granddaughter. Yeah, I won. I couldn't believe it. I never won anything. But I have to show you guys this. You guys are going to love this. All right. Looks like a can of, what's it called that you spray? What is that called? Oh my gosh. Everybody wanted it through the cocoa virus, whatever you want to call it, right? But you have to see what it says. I'm hoping you guys can see this because my light's kind of blaring it. It's a can of, oh, Lysol. Thank you, Squirrely Girl. For some reason, I couldn't think of Lysol. Hey, Selena. So this is a can of Bitch Be Gone. I could not help myself when I seen this. I was all over this. I was like, I have to have that. So this is a can of Bitch Be Gone. And what it does is it kills 99.9% of thoughts and bitches, right? And it says it's Don't Try Me spray. And it eliminates hoes. Yeah, we could spray it on Candace. And it's got a crisp, fuck off scent. Funny, hilarious. Now, I've got to look this way to tell you guys the directions. The directions are everything. Hey, Marie. So the directions say, anytime you have that fuck around and find out feeling from a bitch, hoe, or thought, simply stand back and spray that bitch in the face until they are gone. The crisp fuck off scent will linger long after the bitch be gone. And it says where to use it. Bitch Be Gone can be used anywhere. Home, office, cars, stores, and anywhere you want a bitch to be gone, right? It works great for bitches, hoes, thoughts, Karens, sluts, wrenches, skanks, dumbasses, pricks, dicks, assholes, scumbags, douche, canoes, thunder cunts, twat waffles, shitheads, micromanaging bosses, lazy ass supervisors, annoying customers, petty execs, and narcissistic snobs. Oh my gosh. We could spray this all over the YouTube streets. Active ingredients: water, alcohol, a dash of no fucks given, side eyes, STFU, which we know what that means, pepper, eye rolls, YOLO number 6, no patience, acid 4543, at TFO 420, red number 30. Isn't that the coolest thing? Yeah, twat waffles. I hope you guys heard what I was saying because I was turned away from the mic. I had to use my light so I could see because I don't see very well. Well, we had beautiful sunflower and we had fine summer's truth. Thank you guys for coming in. I was played some of Lisa talking on prayer gardens, and I had that. I seen you guys in the chat, but isn't that cool? So I've already looked into having some of these made for my channel if I ever get enough subs to where I can have some merch and stuff. But this is so cool. That was like, I need it. I need it. So, anytime you guys need to use this, you just give me a shout and I'll let you spray it as much as you need to. And it is a cup, okay? It's a cup. Can you believe that? So cool. One spray of bitch be gone, and them bitches be gone. Okay? Fantastic. Got my man, got my cup. We almost there. My low budget channel one day won't be low budget. Slowly working on it, and I appreciate all you guys for being supportive of me because it really means a lot. When I started doing this, I never even thought that anybody would want to come into my chat or listen to what I was talking about. And, you know, you guys make me feel good. You really do. And I appreciate that. Um, yeah, it's a cup, Palm. It's a cup. And I don't want nobody to be upset with me over the content that I'm kind of going to go over here. Um, I'm really not out to personally, hey, that girl, I'm really not out to personally get anybody. I'm just trying to make sense of some things that have been going on in my mind, right? And I didn't really interview Lisa J, but she had come up on my panel kind of when I first started, right? And was talking about things that went on back there, right? Thank you, beautiful sunflower. I know you guys, I can be a hothead sometime and get a little feisty. And, that just happens sometimes. But I couldn't understand because I just happened to, I didn't catch the live, but I had seen a clip or something and I was like, I need to go back and watch that, right? Plus, I've been practicing my clips and I think I got some pretty good ones, right? Palm, I don't know. I don't know. I was upset with her over the, I don't want to say the Nana's Angel incident, but it had to do with, I felt it was a double standard. Okay. I did. I felt it was a double standard. Even though I don't get along with Nana's Angels and don't watch her channel anymore or whatever, I started out being a mod for her, and that was the first panel I ever went up on, and I will forever be appreciative of that, right? We just eventually didn't click, and I just kind of went away from that channel. But Lisa come up on my panel and went a little wild on Nana's Angel. She didn't look at the big picture. She just assumed because Nana's Angels put out a video entitled Lisa J and the Monsters, right? I kind of see where that title's coming from now, right? In my opinion, she's talking to another lady, and I will never say her name, and you all know who I think it is. Well, Palm, I agree with you 100%, and I have a clip that I'll show you guys here in a minute, and I won't point this person out, but you'll know who it is. Because I got a few things to say about this person that I know for a fact Lisa talks to behind the scenes, which isn't a big deal to me. If anybody ever associated with my channel talks to somebody that maybe I don't talk to or don't care about, don't care for or whatever, I don't care. I really don't. That doesn't mean that I can't have a relationship with any of you guys, or anything like that. My way of thinking is you can be friends with whoever you want. Just don't just don't just don't talk about each other if that's the case. If you're friendly with somebody and you're friendly with somebody that this other person doesn't care for or like, it's all fine and dandy. But you just don't want to make it a habit of talking about, um, the person that may not like that other person, right? And Lisa's friends with somebody I don't like, okay? And if someone talks to you about others, they also talk to others about you. Exactly. Exactly. And when I show you guys this clip, I'll give you a little bit of understanding of why I don't like this person, right? And why I don't appreciate this. Hey, peace. Appreciate this person even saying my name out loud to anybody, right? I'll give you guys a little rundown on it. Um, but the double standard came in when, number one, she just jumped the gun and thought that Nana's Angels was doing a live, right? Was doing a live and put Lisa down as coming on her live. And that wasn't the case whatsoever at all. Nana's Angels did a video, right? I can see if I kind of can see where Nana's Angels was going with that, um, because I had a lot of questions too. I ended up having a lot of questions about um, Lisa and her knowledge of what was going on back then. I never questioned Lisa on anything that she came on my panel and said, because, truly the way that I believed was, what happened 25 years ago, 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, where's that relevant with Summer going missing? Don't get me wrong. I can see why some creators are looking into back then, because Don Wells was around a lot of SAers, SOs, some that even ended up being registered and going to prison for a long time. Okay. And I'm kind of questioning that Lisa so openly talks about Dawn and Pam and Candace and, all the other people that they were all associated back then with, right? But she has put herself in a position to where she goes on a lot of different panels and talks about a lot of different things, right? Lori said, when I said that she was entitled, I didn't refer as a live, did I? Thought she just said notification with her name. No, I thought when she went off, she thought Nana's Angels was saying that she was going live with Lisa, right? And she wasn't. It was just a video. So, I mean, not going into a lot of what me and Lisa talked about, but she asked me what my opinion was on Nana's Angels, right? Should she go talk to her? Go back and talk to her? And this is exactly what I told her. If you want to go back and email her or talk to her, that's up to you, right? I'm not anybody's keeper or whatever. But this is what I told her too. Lisa, you put yourself in a position by coming out on YouTube and speaking about all these past events that you know transpired at that time with Dawn, Pam, Candace, whoever. She's dropped a lot of names in the process, right? But I also told her, Lisa, why can you do that and nobody deep down question you about it, right? I'm just, first, I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you the clip of this person, and I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. As far as this person that Palm knows who I'm talking about, she is on Prayer Garden's channel, and she has a real name up there. So, hey, BB Diamond. So I'm not doxing this person at all, okay? And when I explain things to you, I'm not even going to say her name, all right? And so let's go to my clips here. I've been practicing my clips. You guys are going to be really surprised. All right, so, all right. I'm going to show this clip. Here we go.
Yeah. Seven kids, and ain't got none of them
worth defending.
Mm-hmm. And she did say she was fixed over there on Daisy's. Thank God.
She was fixed.
You know what? I'm sure the majority of us watch the Chub Rub Sisters, okay? There ain't nobody interested in the Chub Rub Sisters.
No, I didn't. I'm just saying.
I don't think I've heard that one.
And then now, Candace, I don't know if everybody knows it, Candace is now a mod. Guess who for?
Who cares?
Exactly. Yeah.
She's not a mod for her children, I could tell you that.
Well, no, yeah, she don't give. She's a mod for white boy.
All right, wait, I gotta stop that. Hang on, y'all. Oh my God, I gotta stop this. Oh my God, stop it, stop it. Okay, I stopped it. Hey, the Victor. All right. You heard the person talking, right? Let me explain something to you. And I kind of went over this before, and this is what I'm going to say about that person. I had a restraining order against that person for a lot of years. A lot of years. She terrorized me. Terrorized me. Don't really know what I ever did to her. Ain't never asked her and don't care. Because I did nothing to deserve all those years of getting in. I would go out of my house to get into my car. She would call me horrible names. I would go into my front yard and would hear every time I went into my front yard, bitch, you need to go back in your house, right? Bully behavior, bully behavior. And yeah, I would get really upset about it sometimes. I had a restraining order. I would call the law. Well, this is the thing. When there's kind of neighborly shit going on, the cops really don't want to do a lot about it, right? So they would come and, tell her to stop or whatever. This went on for so long, it wasn't funny. And a lot of times they would tell me, just ignore it, right? I ignored it many, many, many times throughout the years. Just ignored it, right? And like I said, don't really know exactly what I did to the girl, and I don't care what I did to her. Nothing that anybody does deserves to have somebody bullying them, not only once, but so many fucking times, you guys. It wasn't even funny. So, it's at the beginning of Summer's case. I turned on Prayer Garden because I was watching all kinds of different people back then. And I seen that person, and I never watched Prayer Garden again after that. Never. And that's when I watched Prayer Garden that time. It was just to clip that, right? And so what ended up happening, when I would ignore her, she would start to bully my family. My granddaughter, right? My granddaughter, for not just a couple months, my granddaughter quit coming to my home because of that. Okay? So, after so long, right? After so long, one day my granddaughter come over, and I just happened to, my granddaughter was out in my yard playing. I just happened to come around the house. My granddaughter's out there. She does the middle finger and says some inappropriate stuff. And you know what I did? I brought my granddaughter in the house, and I called the police station and made the report about what she did. And I said, look, it's getting to where my family's being harassed now because she's not getting the reaction that she wants out of me. The police said, because I told them, I was like, my granddaughter's going to tell my daughter. And the police told me, it doesn't matter what your daughter says to her, as long as she's on your property, right? Just on your property. Hey, you guys, I'll tell you what, in my chat, you guys make up a nickname for her, okay? I don't want her name mentioned in my chat. So that way nobody's gonna come after me saying that I'm calling her name out or anything, okay? So you guys figure out a nickname for that. So, my daughter comes home. My daughter is in my driveway and letting her know that she's not dealing with that stuff. She's not going to do that stuff, especially to my granddaughter, right? So it was all said and done. She could have called the police and said that my daughter was screaming at her or whatever, right? She didn't do that. Yeah, Froggy's good, Vicky. She didn't do that. Instead, Anastasia throw mama from the train. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. So anyhow, just to get through the story quickly, because I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the situation. So anyhow, it was like a week later, she had gotten cameras over at her house, right? After she gets the cameras up and running, then she calls the police to tell the police that we were attacking her or whatever, right? I don't know what she freaking told them. But the police show up at my house. And, well, did you do this? I'm like, that was last week. Why are you just showing up today? Then I realized that it was a game to her, and she had cameras now. So what a thing to have the cops on cameras coming to my house, right? So the last straw was I had went out in my front yard. And she, let me tell you guys, I am not lying. It is fact that she sits at a table in her front yard and stares at my house constantly, right? I don't know how much she does it anymore because I don't even go out in my front yard. I hang out in my backyard now. So just shit like that she was doing. But I had went out to go out and get in my truck, and I hear again, go the fuck in your house. And I lost it. I said, you need to call the police right now. I mean, I freaking lost it. So when the police came, in Indiana, when you have a restraining order, and the person that you have the restraining order against files a restraining order against you, right? You automatically go to court. I don't know if she knew that or not, right? I think that she just thought they were going to serve me papers and it was going to be an ongoing battle or whatever. They did serve me papers with a court date on it. So we got into court, and needless to say, without going into any of the details, she lost. She lost, right? So now we'll kind of fast forward a little bit because I don't pay her no mind. I could give a crap less what this girl does, who she talks to, where she's been, anything about her life. I could care less. Like I said, I don't hang out in my front yard. Who wants to hang out in their front yard when this person is telling someone that their camera is pointed on your house, right? Is my life that important that you have to have your cameras pointed on my house, right? Sounds freaking stalkish to me, right? So I did not know when I started talking to Lisa J that she was talking to that person. Because, not that it really mattered to me because I like Lisa or whatever, but it's the conversation that this person feels like that they need to have with Lisa concerning my house, right? Concerning my house. Now, I've talked about a couple incidences that happened in my neighborhood around my house. Never said whose house it was, never said names, nothing, right? So I'm going to say this once on my channel because I've been told that she hides in the bushes and watches my channel to wait for me to say something about her, right? So this is what I'm going to say about you, person who knows who I'm talking about, okay? There's nothing exciting going on in my house, right? You didn't have to be a bitch to me and terrorize me and bully me for years. You didn't have to do that, okay? Obviously, it was proved that what you were doing was fact. You lost in a court of law. So I'm going to be nice, and this is what I'm going to say. Bitch, be gone. You feel that coming through the monitor? Woo woo! That's for you, girl. So leave me alone. Quit stalking my house. There's nothing dramatic going on over here that you need to know what's going on. I haven't talked about your house. Nothing. I have no desire to speak of you ever again after today. So don't have people that you know from YouTube try to befriend me so you can find out shit. You ain't gonna find out nothing. I'd be worried about who's hiding in that field. Hey, Coco. Yeah, she just needs to stop. You know, I'm not even really being mean about it. I just want her to stop. It's stupid. I mean, Jesus, after freaking years, it's time to quit crying about whatever. I'm over it. You can be neighbors with me, BB Diamond. I've got a pretty big yard. Hey, Bren, it's nobody's business. You're right. What goes on in my home, out in my yard, and even when I went to court, I told the judge, I was like, why should I have to carry a camera around with me or carry a phone around with me and record me being in my yard? It's like, I mean, seriously, that's messed up. Nobody should have to carry a camera and stuff around in their yard when they go out in their yard. This is supposed to be my home where I feel comfortable in it, right? And believe me, there was many years that I felt uncomfortable even going out in my yard and being in my yard because I could never get away from her, right? Could never get away from it. Couldn't walk out to my car. Couldn't walk around in my front yard because her house faces my house. And when she's sitting in her front yard constantly, it looks right at my house. And do I care about that? No. Is it off-putting to me? Yes. So, please, bitch, be gone. I love that. I love that cup. I can't wait. I'm going to have some made for my channel, for my merch. I think it's so cool. Peace said my security cameras got my yard all the time. Yeah, we've got cameras now. I had to get cameras. I didn't have any choice. There were a couple instances where my bedroom window looks out right at the sidewalk out front, and I have video where she's standing outside, right outside my bedroom window. Now, she was on the sidewalk, but she knew what she was doing. There ain't nobody stupid, right? Yeah, sometimes people don't have all the tools in the shed. You better believe it. Lori, it's not deep woods, just out of town, so can do whatever we want in our backyard and wildlife. Yeah, I've got some woods outside. I've got a pretty big backyard, and then I've got the woods setting back there. The phone call you got is very disturbing. I think it's important in TV. I should know about it. Which phone call is that, honey? Oh, about, are you talking about Mr. Brown? I haven't spoke or tried to contact Mr. Brown again. I don't think he wants to have a conversation with me. And the sad thing about that is because I would have really had a decent conversation with him. I really wasn't calling him to go off and call him names and freak out or whatever. I wanted to know why he said that. And mostly what I found disturbing about Mr. Brown was the way that he talked about the R word and then put therapy in with it, right? And then in that same sentence talks about being ticked off at Nicolina, but he'll get to that. I mean, that's weird crap. That's weird crap. And you know what? we all get feisty. We all kind of say things. But when you're in Summer's army, you don't talk like that. You don't talk like that. And he didn't even say like unalived or anything. He came right out and said that somebody had KILL'd her. Well, actually, it made me even more mad that he would just assume just because people are in Nicolina's chat or whatever that put them in a category where we're no better than someone who unalived a little girl that we've all been fighting and fighting in our hearts, our minds. We have given so much to trying to find her and trying to in our minds not think of her like that, you know? So that bothered me a lot. That really bothered me a lot. So like I said, I've just got some questions for Lisa. I know she won't probably come over here on my channel again. That's okay. I don't care if she does or doesn't. I really don't. I love her mother though. Velma is the bomb. So if you guys ever see Velma, you make sure to tell her hi because she is a very, very nice woman. And, I'm not even saying anything bad about Lisa, so nobody take it wrong and think that I'm talking badly about Lisa, but I just kind of want some answers, okay? So I think I'm going to let's replay a little of mine first, because this was earlier on than the one she Dawn said that recently somewhere too, Lori. Don says things too, I think, without thinking about what he's talking about first. He just lets it go. I got something that really bothered me. Let me see if I've got that in my, I don't know if my clips are up now. Hang on, I'm going to get my clips. I want to see if I've got this in my clips, because it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, so we're going to go back to StreamYard. Let me pull my clips up here. You guys are going to love my clips. I've been practicing. They're so cool. Let's see. Which one was I talking about? This bothered me. First I got to show you guys this. It's freaking hilarious.
I want to show y'all a picture of Satan itself. Y'all want to see a picture of Satan?
Look who it was. I did not.
I want to show y'all a picture of Satan itself. Y'all want to see a picture
I did
of
not
Satan?
edit that at all. I did not edit that. She said, "Do you want to see a picture of Satan?" And then all of a sudden, Candace come up there. Freaking hilarious. This bothered me too. Let me show you this.
Hey, man, I just had me some really delicious spaghetti. That shit was on it.
I am jealous as hell.
Oh, sorry. I had to tell you.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Some spaghetti that was great. It was wonderful. Oh my God, it was delicious.
You and Dicey just like that spaghetti.
I'm going to tell you why that disturbed me. Because of the hot dog thing, right? Now, let me come back to my So are you guys hearing all this, right? I mean, you guys are seeing this and hearing this, right? She's she said a guy. She said on your panel that a guy living in the church slept under a pew. Then when I asked, she changed it to an awning outside. Yeah, I mean, a lot of what she said is contradictory. Funny they got money for drugs, alcohol, and cigs, but begging for rent and food now. Oh my gosh. Let them work to pay rent. They have a effing house. Why can't they go home? They don't need a vacay in a hotel. I agree with you guys on everything that you're saying. I agree. Um, you know, Don Wells, I hurt my back. Really, Don? My back hurts every day. I'm on disability because of my back. That's right, beautiful sunflower. That conversation, I was like, wait a minute, because, um, you know, even though Dom can't work, why can't Candace work? I don't understand that, right? Yeah, they can sleep with the cows. You better believe it. All right, let me pull this back up because this next clip, um, it blew my mind. Okay, I want you to listen to what Daisy says.
Don B said, "Oh, I've had a conversation with the FBI. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Ain't no FBI gonna talk to you, Don B." Don B said, "Oh, I've had a conversation with the FBI. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Ain't no FBI gonna talk to you, Don B." Don B said, "Oh, I've had a conversation with the FBI. No, you ain't. No, you ain't."
That's the wrong one. That was about Tom B. um, I'm just going to go down the line here. All right. And then we're going to talk about all the shit he said. All right.
What he said about, you admitting about selling summer. You want to address that?
Yeah, I never. Wow. That's all I can say is that.
873.
No. Why would I sell?
873.
Okay, I heard you. Yeah, that's absolutely
I
absurd.
figured they would like to hear it from you and not me
Yeah,
because we've been, bobbing
yeah,
and weaving, and I
yeah.
thought, well, you know what? Let you say it then, because
There's Don's new
they're
channel.
not believing us.
I wouldn't take all the money in the world for my daughter. I wouldn't
That's
take
exactly it.
anything. I wouldn't. I'd give my life for my daughter.
I know.
Um, y'all believe that? He didn't seem to get really upset about somebody even saying that, right? All right, here we go. Clip number 3. Well, 2, kind of.
I mean, I
Don's
don't
been
know.
upfront and honest with every one of y'all out here. He's told everything. I mean, he's been upfront and honest from the beginning.
Yes,
He
ma'am.
a person that's really truly deceitful. They're not going to get on YouTube and talk about anything. They just ain't doing it. You
I
know.
know. I
I'm
know.
going to play
Candace,
this twice.
her mother, and I have been completely honest all the way through and through. That's
Yeah.
all, and the rest of them over analyzing every little detail. That's a telltale sign of something to me.
It's a telltale sign that they're out of content and they're making shit up just so
That
they can.
or meth.
I'm going to
Well,
play that again. Listen to
I
what
mean, I
Don's
don't
been
Daisy
know.
says
upfront and
also.
honest with every one of y'all out here. He's told everything. I mean, he's been upfront and honest from the beginning.
Yes,
He
ma'am.
a person that's really truly deceitful. They're not going to get on YouTube and talk about anything. They just ain't doing it. You know?
I know Candace and her mother and I have been completely honest all the way through and through. That's
Yeah.
all, and the rest of them over analyzing every little detail. That's a telltale sign of something to me.
It's a telltale sign that they're out of content and they're making shit up just so
That
they can.
or meth.
Everybody does meth, right? If you're going against Don Wells, then you're doing meth, right? He never directly answers questions. No, ma'am, he does not, that girl. He does not. He does not. And I agree with you, Peas. And I agree with you, that girl, that I you know what? I don't even want to say anything bad about Daisy in that aspect because, not toot my horn, but I try to be very kind to people, and you have this belief factor that people that you're talking to and given your time to have a conversation with them and things like that, you want to believe that these people are a certain way, right? And I will feel bad for her when I'm not going to say all of what Donna Candace has said on her panel or anything like that, it is wrong. But the day will come when that relationship isn't going to work out too well for her, right? And that's sad because unless she's cold-hearted and knows that the monetary value of that relationship is good for her, right? But I mean, y'all see what I'm saying on that. But to sit there with Don Wells and question other YouTubers' integrity, it's just doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, something will happen where it's not going to work out real well for her. Beautiful Sunflower said she called me out on her live, lied on me. It hurt me because I was always good to her. Yeah, I mean, when I lost my temper yesterday, and I'll call it losing my temper, because I was a little bit more than feisty yesterday. Okay, I agree with that 100%. I did lose my temper. You guys know I blocked Green Eyes. I don't need Green Eyes in my chat. It doesn't do anything for me as a YouTube creator, right? To have Green Eyes in my chat. And I had been watching Green Eyes in many, many, many chats, and he's always got stuff to say and always telling everybody else, well, if you do this, then maybe this or whatever. And it's like, you're supposed to be in that vicinity, right? You're supposed to know more than anybody else does, right? So don't come to my channel and tell me to do something to help you, because you should be doing stuff to help Summer. You don't need to help me do anything, right? You don't. You don't need to help me do anything, Green Eyes. The way I see it, if you really want to do something in this community, if you really want to do something for Summer's Army, get off of YouTube and do it, right? I don't live there. I don't live there. If I did, I would be doing everything possible. I'll tell you somebody who's got great content and has boots on the ground, right? That I've seen put out some excellent content about Summer's case, and that's Killer Looks. I recommend Killer Looks to everybody's channels. Everybody. Right? Green Eyes may have a DRUG connection with Associates of the Wealth. I don't know. That person has hid who they are the whole time. And, I know I'm a newer channel and stuff, but I don't need that riffraff in my chat. I really don't. That's all I got about to say on that. But it's awful weird that no matter what anybody does, if it's not going Don's way, well, then they're on meth, right? You know what, Don Wells? Every time I talk about you, it doesn't go in your favor. I ain't on meth. Not at all. Right? All right. I'm going to go back to my clips. Let's see what my next clip is, everybody. Let's hear this.
A person that's really truly deceitful, they're not going to get on YouTube and talk about anything. They just ain't doing it. You know?
I know Candace and her mother and I have been completely honest all the way through and through. That's all, and the rest of them over analyzing every little detail. That's a telltale sign of something to me.
All right, sorry you guys. I ended up playing that again. I told you I ain't real good on clips, so the overanalyzing. That's a really strong statement, you guys. Really, very, very strong statement for Don Wells to make. Okay. Did I say hi to you, Dean Lynn? Why? So what is that telling us? When he says that we're overanalyzing everything. So he's telling us that what happened to Summer is something simple, right? I mean, that's the way I'm taking that. If I'm over analyzing everything, every bit of content that I have put out, and I simplify it, what's that mean? Right? I don't, hey Linda, I don't understand. I don't understand that. So, we're going to simplify Summer's case. In my mind, simplifying Summer's case to me is just downright saying, Candace was gone, you were up on that hill, Dawn, right? While Candace was gone, Candace came back, Summer was gone. That's a simple thing to say, right? That's a very simple thing to say. Lori said, I have a special gift. I can tell by how voices sound that they are using. I can even tell how many drinks someone had. You know what? That's funny because I stated about Don Wells before. The minute that he's talking to somebody, I can tell when he starts drinking. And I know when he's definitely hit his drunk point, is when he says awesomest, right? That's the most awesomest thing. Thank you. That's awesomest. It's like, seriously, Don? Yeah, they get on channels that'll run their cash app. And I'll tell you what upsets me about that. They're suspects. They are suspects in their child's disappearance. And you know what? Not me, and I'm sure not a lot of people in my chat. People are taking care of them financially. Why? Why are people financially taking care of them? Why are they so different than somebody who really needs it and really needs the help, right? Why would people want to give money to a freaking man, period, whether he had a missing child or not, that hurt his back sitting in a motel room, right? Knowing he's partying, right? We just seen the other day, right? Him, let me take care of my buddy. They're out there partying, right? And it's like, we can all keep asking these people, why? Why? And you know what? It's their money, so they can do whatever the heck they want with it, right? But why? They're sitting there drinking and doping in front of us. So, and these people who are giving them money, right? And they're drinking and drugging in front of us are also the ones who are paying their child support, who are giving them money to fix their house up or whatever. And you're watching them while you're supporting them and trying to, whether it's financially or supporting them emotionally, right, to get their boys back, you're watching them doing things that they're telling you straight in your face. We don't care if we get those boys back. In my opinion, that's what they're doing, right? That's what they're doing, in my opinion. So why are some people so naive that they're doing that right in their face, but they'll send that money? They'll send that money. I don't understand it. Phoebe says they don't have to stay in a motel. They could stay at 110 for free, Don. I lost you there, babe. Dawn was already driving 30 plus minutes to work before Summer disappeared. Yeah. Everyone missed the drug deal done on live. Stop sending these people money. I think I clipped that. I've got that, I think, in a clip. I hope you guys like my clips. I'm not real good at it. I'll tell you who does clips that I love watching. That's Dynamite. Love those clips. Love them, love them. Yeah, Peas, I won't go on their channels. And I truly believe, and this is my opinion, right? That they already know they're not getting the boys back, but they can keep that feels sorry for me because I don't have my boys anymore, right? Bryn said they are out of money again, and when Monday comes, they said they will have to live in their car. Let them live in their car. Let them live in their car. You know what? I've seen women, homeless, right, who have been on YouTube that live in their car by themselves. And it's not because they're doing drugs, right? I'll see if I got that clip when I go back to my clips and show it. I believe I got it. Yeah, I hope it's cold on them too. It's here in Arkansas, so it's pretty hot. He said every dollar takes him closer to taking the answers with him. Oh, yeah. Don talked about, now listen, he says, I was younger, right? He's in a bad part of town. He sees a young girl standing there, 14-year-old, that's dressed like a lady of the night. 14 years old, right? Are you 20 miles from him, Bryn? Do you want some of my spray, Bryn? You need some of my bitch be gone? I'll send you some. You spray that all around your house and your yard. That'll keep them away. But a 14-year-old child, and I don't know if I have it on my watch list or not to play that again. But I know the story, right? So he stops. This tells you so much. Don says, so I stopped and said, what are you doing? You in this neighborhood? You know it's bad out here. And then what does he say? Can I take you home? Right? Can I take you home? What's that mean to a prostitute, even if she's 14 years old and out on the street working? What does that mean when a John pulls up in a freaking car and says, can I take you home? Right? But Don tells a story in a way where he makes himself this 14-year-old savior, right? Not only that, but supposedly he goes in the house. Okay? If you were concerned about a 14-year-old being in a bad neighborhood and you say, can I take you home? Why would you feel inclined to go in the house? Were you going to do, Don, like you did the little 5-year-old who was out by the road playing because you were concerned? You were going to go in the house and ask parents why they're letting that child out like that? Right? Hey, Miss Justice. Hey, where's Summer? Hey, Sassy Brenda. Right? He's telling on himself while giving himself an out. Thank you, Miss Justice. So then he says, I get in there, and there's a 70-something-year-old black woman, right? And I don't care about the color. I'm just explaining the story, right? Which was weird that he points out that the older lady is a colored woman, right? And there's 2 young boys. what do you say, 8 and 11, I think. Really, really young boys. One interview I seen him say, and them, something about, and I'm pretty sure them kids were smoking crack. Then in another interview, he says, and they were smoking crack also. And the 14-year-old was, and the 70-something-year-old woman was. Don acts like he got the hell out of there. Do you guys believe that? Because I believe Don Wells sat right there, in my opinion, and in my opinion, was probably the one who brought the crack with him, in my opinion, and was smoking crack with all of them, in my opinion. That's right. He said the little girl, she was a little girl to me at 14, was dressed like a prostitute. Don goes back all these years later. I just didn't know what I was seeing back then. You know what? I call bullshit on that. I call bullshit on that. Just like he talked about the motel. Crackheads being in a motel. And I'll say trigger warning, even though it's on my banner. Right? Yeah, Lori. The boys were white, and so was the little girl. Right? Brent said he is a liar and probably did something bad to the girl. I agree with you 100% on that, Brent. And I think a lot of other people agree with that statement also. Remember what he said about that 11-year-old body like hell? That was Allie's daughter over in the park that he was talking about. Right? This is the thing too. If you guys remember that story. Hey Marie, did I say hi to you earlier? Hi Marie. But anyhow, I forgot where I was going. Okay, I know what I was going to say. When Don tells a story, for some reason, he calls out people of color, right? Like the park, and talking about Allie's daughter. And her having a body like hell, or whatever he said. And so what else did he say there? She gonna be pregnant by a bunch of black dudes, right? So I don't understand Don. Is it because he's uneducated? I agree with you, Bren. I agree with you that he's racist. He said he has to make himself a hero in his stories, but he's obviously can't bring himself to be Summer's hero. Lori said that old lady and kids doing drugs is so people like Don can do that to them. That whole situation is disgusting. But where he's making these mistakes by telling these stories, right? That he just feels is so true. They're true stories. Believe Don. Believe everything Don says. He sees in a motel room, right? Crackheads doing horrible things to children. But he was too young to really know what was going on. He didn't realize it till way later. You guys believe that? Seriously. Hey, Sassy. I pray that law enforcement has some much for an ironclad case that'll put them away soon. I hope so too. But the sad thing about it is, I mean, I am one of the ones who sit back and say, yes, Hawkins County is shady. But I'm one of the ones who sit back and say, I really want to believe in law enforcement where it comes to Summer's case, that the right people are handling Summer's case. And law enforcement, whether it be TBI, FBI, or whatever, are not going to come on YouTube and tell us anything. Do you really think law enforcement is going to call a YouTube creator and say, well, we know this and this is the person that we're looking at and blah, blah, blah? No. Because a lot of things that's been said on YouTube, right? Even if they're true, could really cause a problem for, could really cause a problem if ever need be to be taken to court. Yeah, I mean, Lori, I know a lot of people really, really want them arrested. I pray they get arrested, right? I do. But I also want that if they get arrested, that the charges that are put on them cannot be dropped, nothing. I want it to be 100%. I want it to stick. Whatever they can get them on, I want it to stick. And I understand we all want answers so badly, right? But that's what I'm saying. If they're looking at a specific person and they gave that information to social media and then all of it comes out, people digging into their background or whatever. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But somewhere along the line, someone could really hurt the case. And a good example of that is, okay, if you guys remember right, let me turn my camera off here for a minute. If you guys remember right, Jared from Adventures with Purpose was in court for, I believe it was R-ing and S-ing family members, right? So he finally gets to court and they're live streaming it. Okay. And I'm not sure what happened. He didn't mute it or something, but you could actually hear him in the court. It was a shit show. And I'll tell you why. And I'm not saying anything bad about Duty Ron. You guys don't think that I am. But what happened that day was, I believe that that they stopped court. And you know who got hurt out of that situation? The victims. The victims who had been waiting for Jared to go to court. Those were the people who got hurt. Right? I've got the clip of the drug deal, Lori. I've got it. I'll show it here in a minute. Pretty sure I have it because I showed it not long ago. Well, you make that chicken salad, squirrely girl. That sounds really good. That's like Lip Lock was one day she was eating a taco salad, and I was like, oh man, that sounds really good. P said Duty claimed his Bluetooth AirPods quit working while his voice went into the courtroom. And that's fine. Like I said, that's all fine and dandy. But who got hurt that day? Jared didn't get hurt at all. The only people that got hurt that day was the victims who had been waiting for him to go to court. Right? And then people wonder why, what are you talking about, Palm? I called the hotel and they asked me to send it. I will be honest. I've got it. I mean, the problem is they're at this hotel where everybody's partying. And why the motel probably wants you to send it to them, they probably don't want something like that out there. Let me see if I can find it real quick, you guys. Hang tight with me. Let me pull up my clips. That's Roger. That's Don B. I had it. I thought I had it. I can find it. I'm sure I can find it. Let's I'm gonna play this clip of Don. Let's see what this one is.
Doug he's on his channel right now. I went on there at minute 16. It's like he's just way over analyzing everything. It's like Doug he's on his channel right now. I went on there at minute 16. It's like he's just way over analyzing it.
Okay, what I want to say about that clip, right? Don knew exactly the minute that he was on there. You got a copy of it, Palm? I can find it. I know exactly who he was talking to when it happened. Right? Hey, German Shepherd Mom. Thank you for popping over. Always welcome here. I use a screen recorder, not yet, because if they pull vids off, it disappears from your saved video. Yes, you're absolutely right. I have seen that a couple times, Lori, where I went to pull up a clip and it ain't been there. But it usually tells you on your save later watch list that it was taken. That's where I have it on my save later. Hang on, let me check out my save later here. You guys got me busy today. Yeah, I thought I had it on here. Usually, if a video gets taken off, all right, here's where Don's talking about the incident in Stockton. So let me come back to my StreamYard and go back to my share screen here. Oh, wait, what I do? Oh, yeah. And we will, this is on my watch later. Let me pull it up. All right, this is where Don. Oh, this is it. This is the clip right here. All right, hang on, you guys. Let me get it fixed up here.
Do you love getting high, but
sorry, there's a commercial.
I've got you covered. You need to
somebody like Blair, who's going to stick to the facts.
All right, you guys, I'm not talking about, I don't want to hear that.
He can't.
Let me find it here.
Hit the link. Drop the link.
Is this the one?
He's a coward, yeah, but he don't want to embarrass himself at the same time.
I know this is the one.
Through comments.
Let me find it.
It's expected, but people, I think, have a negative view of you because these people, and Don,
let me see if I can get.
You already know the game. That is triggering you, man.
I thought this one was it.
Shit, but people don't know your real side, man. You know what I'm saying? I think some people do it through interviews and stuff, but it'll be a
I
way
thought
you can
this
show
was it.
people
Maybe
like
this ain't
your
it.
real self.
Well, I wrote
I don't know why I kept that one.
kind of turned into a book. Pretty much the whole time I was
All right.
locked up, and
That's not it, you
we're
guys.
gonna read a page of that, and
Let's
hopefully
go
just
back
laugh
to my
about it a little
list.
bit. There's a
Let
lot of
me
there's
exit out of
criminal
that. All right, let me see, because I thought for sure I had it on here because that's where it happened at was on White Boy Lockdown Radio. Is where it was. But I will show you the okay. I think he told that story twice. Doug did call the TBI over that. I don't know what that one is I pulled up there. That was about the call. This is it right here. Let me pull this up. Bear with me, you guys. You know, my channel's low budget.
So when I was in the drug areas in Southern California, everybody knows that Stockton's considered a major drug hub. I could go there right now and probably buy. I'll guarantee you, bro, and you know I'm telling the truth. I could go to Southern California right now and get the Mexican mafia and get. I could probably spend $300 and get fucking a half ounce of pure cocaine. You know this.
Wow.
You know this. Come
Yeah.
on, man. Don't have
Yeah, Stockton's far from me though, so yeah, I'm like an LA guy. Yeah.
Well, probably in LA too. I don't know a lot about LA, but Stockton, California, you have a shipping port that comes right into Stockton, the downtown Stockton area. There's a lot of cocaine there.
Right.
I mean, what's your drug of choice? Be honest with me.
Marijuana. I never tried even marijuana until I was like 24 years old, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a straight edge. I never drank or anything until I was out of high school, bro. Like I never did anything like that.
Oh, that's good, man.
But you have to understand, my dad was a cop, my brother was a cop, bro. I couldn't do anything wrong for any reason anyway. They always catch me.
Okay. Well, I get it, man.
You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even be a drug addict if I wanted to. My parents would send me to jail too quick.
Right. Well, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, Doug. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Cocaine's been a major problem in my life.
Right. I know.
It has. It really has. I'm not gonna lie to you because you know what? Because I want to be realistic with you, and I want to be fair with you, and I want to be, a brother to you.
I appreciate that, and I want to be the same to you, Don.
All right, I appreciate that, bro. But here's the thing. When I was in Stockton, California, years ago, when I was a kid, I run this by Cher, and I run this by White Boy, and I'm gonna tell you, okay. Please keep this to yourself. But this is important.
Is that better, Lucy Cat?
Okay. I was running the drug areas in Stockton, California when I was a younger kid.
Right.
Okay. And I seen this 14-year-old girl. I could tell she couldn't have been no more than 14 years old. Beautiful little girl, right?
Right.
And but she was dressed like like a hooker basically. I pulled up to her in my truck and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing out here? Like what do you not know that you're in a drug area? You know, kind of thing. And she's like, well, I'm just blah, blah, blah. I can't remember what she told me. I said, can I please take you home? Right. All right. And then she says, yeah, no problem, you know. And she jumped in my truck like it was shit, you know. She didn't know me from nobody. Okay, and she told me where to take her. And
See, that's what's funny. The way that he just said that, he's trying to make it sound like he was concerned about this girl, right? He acts like he was concerned about this 14-year-old girl who looked like a prostitute. And he asked to take her home out of the kindness of his heart because he was so concerned.
I took her to her so-called house or whatever, right? and I walked in the house with her, right? Okay. When I get inside, there's about a 75-year-old black woman, okay? And, inside that home was about a 8-year-old white boy.
Right.
About a 9 or 10, maybe 11-year-old white boy, and then plus that girl that I just brought back, right, to the house. Here's okay. This old black woman was smoking pure cocaine.
How did Don know this old colored woman was smoking pure cocaine, right? So my question would be, if you know they're smoking pure cocaine, A, you would either had to smoke it with them, or B, you would have had to have brought the pure cocaine with you, right?
Right.
You know, we're talking about Stockton, California. They have the best dope you can get anywhere. And
Right, it's all over California.
Yes, exactly. But there's no way, bro. And I was younger and I didn't put it together at that time. But through the years, I've been thinking about this a whole lot.
Isn't that creepy? Through the years, he's been thinking about that a lot. Not only did Don think about that a lot, but he also thought about the incident with the motel and the crackheads, right? He thought about that a lot too over the years.
There's no. I knew them kids were smoking cocaine, and I didn't put it together. But when I thought about it more and more, there's no way that them kids belonged to that black woman, and they were addicted to cocaine.
Right.
Yes.
So they were like, what was
them kids? Them kids could have been kidnapped from anywhere in the United States,
right?
And addicted to cocaine and controlled by cocaine.
In my opinion, that statement says a lot, right? That these children not only were addicted to cocaine, but could be controlled by cocaine. And Don was in the house with these children, 3 children. The 14-year-old was a child, right? Just saying.
Cocaine's that beast, huh?
Sir?
Cocaine is that kind of beast, huh?
Cocaine is what?
Is that beast? It'll bring out the beast in people.
Well,
right?
well, I mean, you can get anybody. You know how it is. Well, maybe you don't, but I'll tell you. I will tell you that. You know, okay, I will educate you now. When you get addicted to drugs, you will sell your own soul to stay high. A lot of people, man, cocaine. I mean, Stockton, California is a major drug hub.
This is what I have to say about that. He is right. I'm not going to say he's wrong about that. But the conversation he's having is about children and being addicted to pure cocaine, he says. So that would put these young children selling their soul, right, for that pure cocaine. That, in my opinion, Don Wells was smoking, or Don Wells took that to this home when he was kind enough to take the little 14-year-old who was dressed with a prostitute, who jumped right in his truck, No questions asked. Have you guys ever heard of a prostitute, I don't care how old she is, asking a shitload of questions before they get into John's vehicle? I haven't, but I guess that's just me.
Right.
We have to look at this stuff. I mean,
I know what you're talking about for sure. I definitely know it's definitely
Summer could be in a situation like this. That's what scares the fuck out of me.
You know what? And I'm going to say this because every time that I hear Don Wells talk about anything, it gets me feisty because I can't stand the fuck. Okay? How? This is my opinion, you guys. When Don Wells thinks of Summer being in these situations, how do you think he's thinking of that? Do you think his mind is just like, oh my gosh, Summer may be going through this stuff, it's horrible? Or do you think, and this is my opinion, that when Don Wells thinks of these things, that he's actually seeing his daughter in those situations? Do you guys know what I mean?
Right. Do you think somebody from the holler would, since they wanted to get you out of there, do you think somebody would do this to you?
Well, look at this, man. You know, hey, suppose, okay, look, you know, okay, I know this. You may not know this, but I do know this. I could go to Stockton, California, get a hold of the Mexican mafia, and they would lead me in. I could buy probably an ounce of cocaine for.
Don could go hook up with the Mexican mafia, and they would take him right in. So what's he telling us right there? That obviously he's got some hookups with the Mexican mafia if they would take him right in and give him a good deal on some coke, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Or $100, bro. You know how cheap that is?
Yeah, that's expensive drug too.
No, $100 for the fucking pure cocaine is probably worth. Gosh damn, that's worth a lot of fucking money, bro.
Yeah, that you're getting it for cost, like cheap.
No, yeah, the pure cocaine for $100. That's so dirt cheap. And they would actually lead me out on the highway and make sure I was safe on the highway and on my way. And they would do that for me.
Did you guys hear what he just said? I want to come back and see my chat. What y'all think about that? What do you think about the conversation so far that I just played? Right? Seriously. Candace Pupil the other night sitting on the staircase at the motel, damn pupils was bigger than a damn shark. Honestly, what are you guys getting out of the conversation that I just played so far? Lori, I will clip that for you, okay? It's on White Boy Rick's, or not White Boy, Radio's channel, okay? And Radio is not going to take that down because he's getting a crap load of views off of it, okay? So I promise you, I will pull it up. I have it somewhere. That's right, BB. That is a return customer price. Return customer price. Where's Summer? There was never a house. Wait a minute. There was never a house. There was never a black lady. There was never a 14-year-old child. And there was never kids smoking crack. Don's a liar. Why would he lie about something like that? I mean, he's a storyteller. I get you, where Summer. He's a storyteller. Kathy said, I can almost bet Don is a dealer. That's why he's going to the Mexican mafia. This is what's funny about that whole story, right? This is the whole thing about that. And I see what you said, War Summer. Dawn talked about dealing cocaine to Chris McDonough. I have that also. Where he went and got the cocaine and he did so freaking much of it that he hallucinated, was in the desert. Don himself, right? Don himself said he wasn't a good dealer because he used his own product, right? He would exaggerate but not make all these details up. I guess the point I'm trying to make with all this, right? If you really listen to the words Don Wells is using, right? It's telling us so much more than the story that he's talking about. Tells us so much more. He picked up a 14-year-old prostitute and out of the kindness of his heart asked her if he wanted her to take, if she wanted him to take her home. And she didn't ask no questions. She just jumped right in the truck. Right? What's that telling you right there? Don wasn't picking that 14-year-old girl up to take her home out of the kindness of his heart, in my opinion, because she looked like she was 14 and needed to be taken off of that street. Yeah, she needed to be taken off that street, all right. Because there was a transaction going on. And with what he said, in my opinion, how do we not know that the transaction, right, was actually cocaine? Don was an admitted addict. Do you think when he went in that house and them people, even the children, were doing pure cocaine, that Don didn't partake? Don partaked in all of that, in my opinion, right? So when Don Wells tells a story, you really see that's what Don Wells does. He tells a story, and in that story, he's making himself out to be a hero, right? And let me tell you something. A narcissist is always the hero or a victim, never the villain. Okay? A narcissist is always a hero or a victim, never a villain. Keep that in mind anytime that you listen to Don Wells tell a story. He's a hero here. He's a hero in his eyes. He took a little 14-year-old who looked like a prostitute to her house. Right? Because she was in a bad neighborhood, right? I call bullshit on that. He thinks he's a hero for taking the girl back to his pimp. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. No, Don did what Don tried to do that nobody can see, as Don tried to compare Summer to the 14-year-old hooker, is what Don tried to do if nobody caught that. I'm glad you seen that, War Summer. But he didn't call law enforcement, did he, Bryn? He didn't call law enforcement when he seen the children, okay? I may not have said that before. He didn't call law enforcement when he was in the motel room with the crackheads that were doing inappropriate things to the children, did he? right? Didn't call law enforcement that time either. Yeah, you're right, Marie. I don't know where Dom gets off running his mouth about the Mexican mafia. That's stupidity on his part. They wouldn't take Don Wells in to give him a freaking deal, in my opinion. If he ever came in contact with them and he had been running his mouth like that and they knew it, do you think they would say, come on, Donnie, we want to give you a good deal, man? I wouldn't think so. Maybe somebody should ask the piece of shit why you even pulled up to a 14-year-old. That's exactly right, Larry Summer. That's exactly right. This guy, this is what bothers me, you guys. And I hate to put this thought into your head, but this is what, when he thinks of his daughter, little 5-year-old, now 7, Summer Moon Utah Wells, his thoughts are pre-verse, right? He can't tell you anything about Summer, right? I worked all the time. I really don't know what they liked. They were home with Candace all the time. I really couldn't tell you. Just that she'd grab my little hand and spin and spin and spin until my arm would fall off. Right? What's he telling us when he says that? That Summer liked to spin around? Yeah. But then it was until my arm would fall off, feel like it was going to fall off. He took something about Summer and made it into something about him. Him and Candace both do that a lot. Example, Chris McDonough speaking to Candace, right? And I can't remember what the conversation was at that point, but what red flags went off in my mind when she made the statement, she would have slept till noon if I'd let her, right? I'll go over that conversation again and point out that it's like the conversations they have about Summer, they add something in there that it's like Summer's being blamed for certain things, right? You know what? I've been around a lot of people in my years, and I've actually not been around or associated with, but known of a lot of people like the Wells, right? There are more people like the Wells out there than what a lot of people think. But yeah, where Summer, he should have called the cops. Anybody in their right mind, okay? Anybody who doesn't have a perverse mind like Don Wells, if they would have pulled up on that little 14-year-old girl, they would have said, let's call your mother. If you don't have a mother, let's call someone responsible who will come and pick you up, right? Or let me call law enforcement. They would not say, let me take you home, right? Yeah, Dion, she did say that. Candace did say that about Summer. She turned, at that point in time, she turned the conversation to Summer doing something wrong, right? Candace's mind is as sick as Don Wells with young boys. I think Don Wells' mind is sick as fuck about any children. And I'm going to tell you guys something right now. For that man to act like he's going to start a channel and have it surround missing children is disgusting to me. He is a confessed pedophile. He confessed what he did about his sister or half sister, stepsister, whatever. To me, that was his sister. And not only with her, but allegedly, I'll say alleged, but believe me, when Chris McDonough named the number of women who were young children at the time trying to file charges against me, I believe Chris McDonough. I think he said it was around 7, right? So Jeannie wasn't a one-time incident. Jeannie wasn't a one-time, incident. Wasn't Allie's mom also a predator, or was that a rumor? Palm, as far as Allie's mom, Sherry, I don't know. I would say that possibly rumor on that, but I do know that there was an issue with CPS with Allie's mother and Allie's sister's children, right? And Sherry had to go to court over those things. I have all that in my notes. I would have to go back and look, but that's the gist of that. Bryn said the people that back up Don and Candace, why don't they let their kids spend a weekend with him? That's what I'm saying, Bryn. And believe it or not, and I'm not putting anybody down, but there are people that are helping Don and Candace because in a weird way, it makes them feel good about helping Don and Candace because they feel like they're the underdogs, right? They got a missing children. Everybody's coming after them. Everybody, finding out shit about Don Wells since the day he was born. I felt a little bit of sympathy for Don Wells when he talked about finding those magazines under his uncle's bed that were magazines that made it okay to hurt children, right? But does that give him an excuse for what he did in the rest of his life? I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play some more of this.
I know this.
When was the last time?
Hey, what's up, my friend Calicanai here, and welcome to.
You got anything like that?
Man, I ain't never got no shit like that. But I've been with people that's done this. I've seen it. I know.
Right.
I lived in Southern California. I know what it's like there.
So you're not naive to California. Yeah, you're not naive to California at all, then.
Man, I took this black girl one time. She says, "Just take me down there, okay?" Mm-hmm. And I watched her get a golf ball of pure cocaine for a $100 bill.
Holy shit!
Now, did you hear what Don said? He lived down there, but he was never involved in the stuff. But he took a woman down to get a golf ball of cocaine, right, for $100. But he lived there. He was never involved in all that stuff. Contradiction, Don.
No, man, that's the way it is, man. When you know these people and you have the connections, you can get awesome deals like that.
So what are you telling me that these people that are doing this, they also have the ability to have these kids, addicted and.
Okay, well, look here, man. Look here. Okay, say that you're a drug dealer, okay, and you can get an awesome deal like that, and say you go to some city in the United States and sell cocaine for a living.
Right.
Okay, what are you going to do on your way back?
Think about this black woman I seen. They had the two young boys that I know weren't hers,
Right.
and this 14-year-old girl that I know weren't hers.
Right. How'd you end up there?
Okay. How did I end up there?
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it if I told you.
I want to know. I'm kind of curious.
Okay, my mother took over a Motel 6 out there in Stockton, California.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to shut the drugs deals off out there because Stockton, California is a major drug distribution city.
Okay. What I find weird about all this is we had Grandma Candy running a motel in Arkansas, right? And now, and Pam, from what Lisa said, was managing a hotel or something, right? And now we got Don's mom managing a Motel 6. So it seems to me, and this is just my opinion, that Don Wells especially was in an environment where he probably was involved in things that he's saying. But in one breath, it's, well, I've never got involved with it, to basically contradicting himself on everything he's saying.
Stockton, California thrives off that kind of stuff. Okay, so they shut down the drug activity in that motel and they lost 100% of their business.
Right.
Do you know what they had to do to open that Motel 6 back up?
What happened?
You wouldn't believe it. Okay, what they had to do, they had to allow some select drug dealers to come in. And not only that, they had to hire security to protect them. No, I'm serious.
I don't know if I believe that part of the story. But his mother ran a motel where it lost 100% of its business. So I have a question. Is Don trying to say that his mother was involved with all that shit? Because if she's running that motel and she agrees to let dealers come in there, right? And make sure that they have guards and shit like that. He's putting his mother in not so good of a light right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm serious as fuck.
Oh my God.
They had to hire security to protect the drug dealers and allow them to sell cocaine in the Motel 6 to bring it up to 100%.
Wow.
And that's no bullshit. That's straight out.
So why did Jody Sue say that you were bringing all the drugs into the holler? Why was she saying that? Was she trying to cover her? Was she trying to cover her own ass?
Who said that?
Jody Sue. She was telling you, when you guys were fighting.
Dude. When it comes to Jody Sue, please just don't even fucking go there, please.
Can I just say, is she the one that was bringing it all in with Andy?
Hey, I'm Joey, and I'm one of the 30 AI voices from SpeechLove.
That's
You listen
gotta
to
make
this
his money.
No, I'm not gonna. Let's not even talk about Jody Sue.
Okay.
Now, okay, I'm gonna come back in so I can see my chat. I gotta figure out how I can play these and be in my chat at the same time. Okay, Jody Sue may have said that, right? But hey Chloe Jane, there was an incident where I think Candace had told Benny that Don had left and came home with a shitload of crack, right? And what'd he do with it? allegedly went around the holler living it up with people in the holler. That's why it's always disgusted me, right? That's why it's always disgusted me that Dawn wants to call everybody in the holler, right? Crackheads, meth heads. They're all drug addicts. But allegedly, Dawn didn't have any problem with taking the product that he got back to the holler. Also, right, you have to think about Dawn from the very beginning talked about people in the holler. They were all drug addicts, right? They're all meth heads. They're all whatever. But you never heard him talking about Knoxville. Very seldom. I don't hear Don talking about Knoxville and going to Knoxville and hanging with people and being gone for not a weekend, sometimes a week, 2 weeks, right? I believe there's a story out there, and I'll have to find it. I have it, where Candace, I believe, had talked to somebody, or, you know, I'll say alleged, just because I don't have the story in front of me to go over it word for word. He was gone for a couple weeks. Candace had to get Don's sister Sonia to go get him. Also, stories of Don being in the next town over. I can't say it was Kingsport. I can't say exactly where that next town over was, right? Partying for a whole weekend. He said, ask him about Playboy. He will get angry. Playboy was at Knoxville Hotel. They go visit. Huh. Don thinks he's a Playboy. Don's even said before, oh, women love me. Crackheads love you, Don. Right? After people were giving money, their time, women, a group of women, right, gave money to them to get that house done, to get them boys back. And what's Don do? He hears a rumor that TBI thinks he sold Summer for drugs. So what's he do? Right? He goes to Knoxville, spends $2,000 on drugs, right? And he spends the weekend, 2 days, handing out $2,000 worth of dope to crack addicts. Walking around the streets, Don was handing out that dope. He probably thought he was king of the fucking world, right? Don's the big man on campus. But this is where that story gets a little weird with me. If that story was true, and TBI was following Don, the dealers where he went and got those drugs sure need to be concerned, because Don Wells just led TBI to your freaking houses, okay? Or wherever he picked it up. And B, all the little crackheads that Don was handing that dope to for free, they better be watching over their shoulder, right? Because TBI watched every single person he handed that crack to. This is what really pissed me off. Not the fucking story. Supposedly, he outran 5 TBI cars or whatever, right? That didn't bother me, his little bullshit story. What bothered me is because people who cared about Summer, who cared about Don and Candace getting the boys back, who gave them their money, their time, their well wishes, right? What's that say about them? What's that say about them? Supposedly a group of women got together and gave them $5,000 to get the house done. Right? What's that say about them? Nobody even thought twice about that story. But what he did was, Don is real good about disrespecting people without them realizing that he's disrespecting people. Right? Yeah, crackheads don't throw away crack. You know. What, the thing about Grandis, you guys want to get into Grandis? Grandis covered her ass by saying she took a nap. That's an easy way to cover your ass, right? I don't know what happened. I was napping, right? I didn't wake up till I heard Candace screaming for Summer. I was napping. What else you want to say about Grandma, right? We can say a lot of things about Grandma. But she was napping, right? He said Candace should be scared. Females in her bloodline get gone unless they are gone because she did it. Well, that's a good opinion there. Crackheads don't like meth heads, and meth heads don't like pill heads, don't like weed heads. Weed heads don't like heroin dealers. Dealers don't like other dealers because it takes away their money. Very good, Summer. Very good, Where Summer, I should have said. That is, the way you wrote that is just spot on. I'm impressed. I don't think Randall did anything but is hiding something. I agree, Brand. Right? I agree. But let's get back to what I was talking about. Because I'm kind of not talking about Grandma Candy right now. But I will. I just ain't gotten to her yet. If you listen, really listen to what Don is saying, the stories that he's telling, believe him or not believe him, right? Believe him or not believe him. He's telling about himself far more than anybody can freaking say. Right? He's saying more than what people are hearing him say. If you look into exactly what he's saying. Remember, older people are smarter than younger people. Older dealers are smarter than younger dealers. Older dealers will get gone quicker than younger ones will. Yeah, I mean, crackheads are crackheads. Heroin addicts are heroin addicts. Meth heads are meth heads. Pill heads are pill heads. What category do you put them all in? Because they're all addicts, okay? Doesn't really matter what kind of drugs they're using. They're all addicts. So Don is picking up prostitutes and taking them to drug dealers. Yeah, basically, Bren. Basically. That's what he is saying. All right, let me finish this out. I kind of got off the content that I was even going to put out today, and that's okay because I've still got all the stuff I need for that, and we'll definitely get into that too. I'm at 2 hours and 10 minutes, so let's try to finish this out here.
Okay, I got you.
Come on, man. You know she's a nutcase.
I don't like that lady.
Man, I'm trying to be fair with you, bro. I'm trying to be fair with you, okay?
Me too. I'm just asking. I'm asking because that's what she said.
I'll work with you. I'll work with you 100%. Don't fucking bring that dumb bitch. Just fucking suck on them.
Okay.
How is Don working with anybody 100%? Right? He told Doug the story and then was pissed off when Doug repeated it. Because he told Cher and I believe Radio about it and they never mentioned it. And he was pissed off at Doug for playing this conversation. And Doug reported it to the TBI. And Don wants to act like that he's being fair with people. Boy, Don, you're a big hero, aren't you? You're sharing, Don. We appreciate you sharing, Don, right?
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Deal.
Come
That's
on.
a deal. That's a deal.
You know she's a fucking nutcase.
That's a deal.
All right, brother. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Let's be real here, man. I'm being real with you, man. I'm 100%. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I hope you give me the benefit of the doubt.
Will do. I will.
All right, brother.
All right.
I appreciate that, man. I'll go live with you. Don't fucking, dude. Don't fuck me around.
Just don't fuck me around. Let's do it the right way.
Don't fuck me around, man.
Let's do it the right way.
Exactly.
All right.
This is about missing kids. It's not about you. It's not about me or anything else. This is about missing kids. You want
Don Wells, you're a rock gut motherfucker to sit there and say it's about missing kids. Yes, we all care about missing kids. We care. But you can sit there and say it's about missing kids. What about your daughter? You couldn't say, look, this is about my daughter, Summer, who is missing, and other missing kids, right? You couldn't say that. Yeah, I've got that too, Peas, where Don called him all pissed off. Doug turned the whole conversation into TBI. Right? That's right, Bryn. Missing kids, but can never say missing Summer. BB, Don's channel name is Don Wells, I believe. I don't know. I ain't never gonna watch it. Missing kids, but not his own daughter. Don't drop the link. Whatever you do, do not drop that man's link in my fucking channel. It'll be a cold day in hell before I ever drop his link or freaking Candace's link in my channel. Bottom line. No fucking way. Bottom line. It's out there to find. So you guys see what I'm getting at by even playing this, right? If you look at the stories, it says so much. It says so much. And in my opinion, and then this is my opinion, Don Wells is a low-life piece of shit. He is a predator. He should have been pegged as an RSO a long time ago. But I do understand victims, okay? I'm a victim myself. but I'm also a survivor. And it was many, many, many years before I could even discuss some of what happened to me. I don't think I've ever got into everything that I've been through. And it does take a long time when things happen to men and women to be able to come forward and feel comfortable enough to talk about situations. Look what happened to Jeannie. Look what happened to Mary. Right? They came out for the sake of Summer. Jeannie was 5 years old. She's a grown adult woman now with children of her own. And it took her years. It took her to come out to law enforcement to talk about what he did to her. It took her until Summer came up missing. And she's seen something there. She's seen something there. Right? The only sad thing I find about that, Don, and people don't realize this either. If you look back at what Mary has talked about, and Jeannie's come out on Chris McDonough's channel, you know, he's been very supportive of them and given them a safe place to come and talk, right? And I forget where I was going with that because I was looking at chat. But it took her a long time to come out and talk about that. That happens, Peas. That happens. You can do a video and watch it get more and more and more views. That's just YouTube. That's just YouTube. So, but Daisy's gonna do that because Daisy's their friend. So of course she's gonna hype that channel up. I've done that on my own channel, hyped other people's channels up. The sad thing about it is, I hype everybody up, and you know what I get? Zip, not a nothing. But that's okay, because that's wasn't my intention when I helped a couple other channels, right? It wasn't my intention to get a pat on the back. And it wasn't my intention to, in the end, be kind of treated like shit either. It's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. But that's all right. Rolled off my back, and I moved on from that. Are you guys, is their numbers that important? Their numbers on their channel that important? I don't get it. I thought that I was putting out some good content here. I don't know. I guess I need to go look on Don Wells' channel, see how many subs he's got. Right? Don't have a fucking clue and don't care. Really don't. All right, I'm getting off of here. I went through all this content, and I guess what's important is Don and them's fucking channel. So I'm out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. So y'all have a wonderful day, and you know, be kind, it don't cost a dime. Thank you, Bryn. I appreciate that very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Squirrely Girl. That means a lot. Thank you, Lori, and everybody else. And Actually, I wasn't even going to do content today, but my shelves and stuff aren't going to be actually done and be put in until I think the 5th of June or something like that. So, but I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Y'all are very special to me. Feel free to come back anytime you want. And I love hanging with you guys. It's great conversation. And I definitely try to, you know, give you guys whatever we're talking about. If I've got it, you know, the content or whatever. I hope you guys like my clips. I'm just learning how to do my clips and stuff, and kind of exciting actually. And like I said, thank you, Shelly Harden. Like I said though, if you guys want to see some clips, definitely definitely watch Dazed. Well, it's not, let's see. I think Dazed and Confused and Dynamite, right? Thank you, Lori. That means a lot. Thank you, Eve, for being such a good mod. I appreciate you so much. So, whatever, BB Diamond. I'm sure there's a lot of other channels that want to sit and talk about Daisy and all them. I'm just not into it. So, but thank you all so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys know I appreciate you. Be kind, it don't cost a dime. Hang out. If you get a little bit feisty, you know, it's okay to get a little feisty. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a great memorial. Spend it. Have fun. And I'm glad you guys liked my, let me turn my camera on. Wait a minute. Let me get out all this stuff. I've got about 8 tabs opened up here. Let me get out of my clips. And I'm going to leave that up there because I'm going to, my man. I'm glad you guys liked my man. We haven't named him though. We got to name him. What name are we going to give the guy? He's freaking huge. Look how big he's a big guy, right? Thank you, Chloe. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. You guys have, hey, don't forget, if you need this spray, you let me know. I am going to get some of these for merch for my channel because I think this is awesome. So, for sure. Get some R&R, just not Don's kind. No, I don't think I need that kind. Girl, I don't drink. If I had one freaking sip of that stuff, I would be a loosey-goosey for sure. No doubt about it. Peter Piper, leader of the PP planet. That's a good one, Squirrely Girl. All right, you guys. I adore you all. So have a great rest of your weekend. And I will probably come back on probably, no, that's not Temu. I won that at the fair last night. I'm gonna wear summer. I'm gonna do some t-shirts and stuff. Definitely. My granddaughter's gonna design one for me. You know, one thing even before I get off, I'll say this. One thing I can say is my family supports me doing this channel so much. And that means more to me than anything. I've got one of my son-in-laws is actually coming up with a, what he calls a beat, okay, for my music, right? And that way I don't have to be copyright struck or mess with that. So he's coming up with that. My older daughter is so supportive. She got me, like for Christmas, a coffee mug that says "Remain calm in the Utopian galaxy," right? And then I mean, they have just been so instrumental in me even starting this channel that it just makes me feel good that, maybe they had a belief in me that maybe I didn't have myself, right? Yeah, BB, I can see a Temu addiction for sure. Later, Selena. Thank you guys. Thank you all. All right, I'm off of here. Thank you. Have a great day. See you guys.